Yo, it's good. It's your man, 100 Grand Ross for The Rock Never Stops. Today I want to do a video on are we sleeping on the Toronto Raptors? Every year videos come out around who people are sleeping on in the media in terms of the potential for the upcoming season in the NBA, right? And we all love doing these videos because every single year without fail, there's a team that everybody kind of just overlooked. Whether it was the Memphis Grizzlies last year, we knew they were going to be good. Nobody ever thought probably number 2 seed, right? The year before, nobody really thought Phoenix was going to the NBA Finals, right? There's always somebody that surprises us. And you know what? For a team that was a number 5 seed last season, it's a shock and a shame to say the league might be sleeping on them. So I'm going to dive into that in this video. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Yo, the first person I want to talk about is Masai Ujiri. Masai Ujiri, in Masai we trust. It is a mantra for a reason. My African brother, this man has put together probably one of the strongest organizations from top to bottom. Probably one of the best, well-ran team structures that you will see in the NBA. Can rival the San Antonios, the Golden State Warriors, the Miami Heats. I mean, there is not another organization you can really say has been top to bottom better in terms of drafting, development, doubling down, cap flexibility, making the right moves, staying competitive. I mean, they've just done it all. And what I see that he's done this offseason is another A plus for an offseason. Great draft, picked up great free agents, retained his core, and I think that they're going to be special because of it. Now, the first player that I definitely have to talk about is Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam, he's probably, I want to say, he has to be Masai Ujiri's feather in his cap because nobody saw Pascal Siakam coming. Don't let anybody fool you, lie to you. Everybody knew he had some skill, had some talent, played really well at New Mexico State. Nobody saw two-time All-NBA, NBA champion, could have been Finals MVP, multiple-time All-Star, and arguably the second best power forward in the NBA. Right now, Pascal Siakam has taken a leap every single year. And when you look at where he's currently at, where he finished last season, and what he could potentially be adding for next year, if he gets his three-point shooting up to over 40%, if he gets that pull-up J, I mean just wet where he don't even think about it, it's going to be problems for the league. But then you also have last season's first-time All-Star and Fred VanVleet. I did a video before about if I thought he was an All-Star or not, and in the moment, I did not think he was an All-Star. But as always, like I love, NBA fans, Toronto Raptor fans, check me quick. It was like, nah, bro, what you talking about in terms of shot creation, ability to score in the crunch time, in the clutch, when it matters the most. Fred is doing it in spades. Look at his assist to turnover ratio. Look at how he's leading this team without Pascal. You got to take a second look. And when I did, I was like, oh my goodness, Fred is legit. Fred is everything that we thought Jalen Brunson is after this recent playoff run. And he signed that massive contract with the New York Knicks. Fred VanVleet is that dude. Fred's ability to create for himself and others, to run the team, to play great dog defense, right, and shoot at an amazing clip from the three-point line. There's few other NBA point guards doing what he does at such an efficient and high level. And despite not having great elite athleticism, he masters his footwork, his ability to change pace and speed, and the ability to keep the defense on its heels by his playmaking ability and passing ability. Fred is the man. And having two All-Stars on a team, plus an All-NBA performer, there's very few NBA rosters that have that in their starting five. But it doesn't stop there. One of my favorite players to watch develop and grow over the last, few seasons has been none other than Gary Trent Jr., who sacrificed a lot of his ability to showcase himself when he went to Duke, playing next to Wendell Carter Jr. And Marvin Bagley III. And he's over there playing next to them, and he basically gets overshadowed. He doesn't have the opportunity to showcase, and he falls in the draft, and he has to grind his way. I mean, grind his way to respectability in the NBA, having to prove himself for somebody who was a top high school draft pick, right? Somebody who was top in his class, to be overlooked, right, and completely bypassed as a legit NBA player, to drop in the draft as far as he did, despite his physical tools and his skill level, right, which was incredible for a one and done who's 6'6", 215 pounds, sniper who can also create off the bounce a little bit, right, and has that in-between game, right? He should have been looked at further, but he wasn't. And so he's got that chip on his shoulder, which as an NBA fan, as a basketball fan, you love to see, because the chip means somebody has a reason to give you everything they got every single time out, right? The Christian Woods, right? The guys who get overlooked and it's like, you know what, bet every time I get this ball, I'm about to show you why I'm better than you, right? But then you also got OG Aninobi. OG Aninobi has been one of the elite defenders, more than worthy of a all defensive selection for maybe the past, at least 2-3 seasons, right? His defense is just, it's crazy. He's got tree trunk legs, a strong upper body, long limbs, like 6'7", with a 7'2" wingspan, big hands, great footwork. I mean, he reminds me kind of Ron Artest in terms of his defense, his ability to get low, move his feet, switch between point guards and even small ball centers. I've even seen him check Joel Embiid, where he's able to get up underneath him because of his low center of gravity and his physical strength. And when he's able to put that strength right at your hip, it doesn't allow you to get that first couple of dribbles to get your momentum going towards the basket, right? OG Anunoby is one of the best defenders, hands down, in the NBA. There's nobody you're looking at going like, oh, it's clearly better than OG Anunoby at all. And yet, OG has developed so much more of his game. His ability now to play make off the dribble. He has a little in-between game. He's getting better at finishing. And even though it's not pretty, it's effective. It's effective in that Jaylen Brown effectiveness, right? Where it's never been as pretty as Jason Tatum's. But sometimes you got to stop looking at what's pretty and start looking at what works, right? Stop asking yourself how, right? And ask yourself how many, right? When you can score efficiently and effectively in the playoffs, right? And against some of the best teams in the league, right? It doesn't matter if it looks pretty. It goes in. It doesn't matter if it looks aesthetically pleasing. It's effective. And OG's game is nothing short of that. And then you have last season's Rookie of the Year, Scotty Leonard. I'm sorry. Kawhi Barnes. I'm sorry. Kawhi Pippen. What is it? Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes. The love child between Scottie Pippen and Kawhi Leonard. At 6'9", 230 pounds, 7'3" wingspan. Can legitimately play point guard. Can shoot from three. Has a pull-up game. Can finish around the rim with both hands. Give you a jump hook. Has the floater. There's very little this young man can't do. And he's in such a beautiful space and team organization to feature everything that he's got. Masai Ujiri and the Toronto Raptors, they are so committed to Scotty Barnes becoming great. I don't know how he doesn't. Like, knock on wood, aside from injury, he is going to ascend. That is the trust that they have in him. And when you looked at the Rico Hines run, right, you recognize, yo, my man, you know that 10 to 15 pounds of muscle watch that we do every single year? Scotty Wins. Scotty Wins. I don't think there's a single other player in the NBA you're going to look at put on more probably effective muscle weight to be able to become dominant the next year. His ability to facilitate and play make is something that is rare, because it's that quality that keeps defenses so on their heels, because they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. If they come and help, Scotty makes a laser pinpoint pass to a wide open shooter. And if you don't help, he's dunking on you, right? And he's also a constant mismatch, because there's no forward at 6'9" who can really stay in front of him off the bounce, and there's no guard who can stay in front of him off the bounce, can prevent from being backed down and posted up, right? And finished over and through. And now that he's packed on the 10 to 15 pounds of muscle, right? Now you got a 6'9", 240-pound forward point guard who can guard all five positions, right? When you put this starting five together, I would be hard pressed. And you could probably even attempt to do this. I might do a video later on it. I don't know if there's a better starting five in the NBA. I don't know if there's a better starting five. You might say, hey, you know what? Stephen Curry is clearly the best between him and Pascal, even though Pascal's a multiple time All NBA performer, right? Headed to an MVP run one of these years, right? You can say Stephen Curry, multiple time MVP, dynasty champion. Okay, got you. But who's next? Who's next? You're telling me Clay is clearly better than Fred right now? Clay coming off of the injuries is better than Fred? Okay, I say give it a draw in terms of this season, not collectively throughout his entire career, this season. Right? Okay, bet. Is Wiggins better than Scotty? No. No, let's stop that right now. Is Draymond better than Scotty? No. No, he is not. Forget what you heard. Not better than Scotty. All right? Maybe you could say he's better than OG Aninobi. Maybe. Maybe. That's a stretch for me. I'm not talking about their careers. I'm talking about what they can do right now at this current stage going into next season. Right? You can go through and through. Kayvon Looney, don't even bring him up to me. Right? I didn't even get to Gary Trent Jr. Right? So when you look at what this starting five presents in terms of what the Toronto Raptors could potentially do next season, they should have probably one of the best starting fives in the NBA. Can go up and against anybody. Anybody. So then you say, well, then what about the bench? Masai Ujiri, we trust. Last season, he brought in Kim Birch, right? They needed somebody who can grind. They needed somebody who could do the dirty work, set the screens, second chance shots, right? Hit the open corner three, right? Play at a high energy. Kim Birch was all of that. But then they stole Precious Achiuwa from the Miami Heat. They didn't know what they had, right? The Miami Heat tried to do him like they did Bam Adebayo. Bam came into the NBA and said, hey, I'm not Dwight Howard. I've got more to my game. I don't just, defense and dunk. I could do a whole lot more. Miami was like, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Bet. Get under the rim, play defense and dunk. They have not developed his game. And as much as he's shown that little mid-range in between, in the playoffs we needed it the most, where was it? Where was it? I saw it once. Consistently? No. Right? They tried to do the same thing to Precious Achiuwa, and Precious Achiuwa was like, yo, this is not who I am. I'm not Bam Adebayo. I'm a forward. I want to play on the perimeter. I want to have some versatility. And then Toronto came and said, you know what, bet. We know what to do with that. Come on over here. Masai Ujiri said, come on in the system. Come on in the program over here. We know where you're going to be. Go ahead and look at Pascal Siakam. Go ahead and look at Pascal. That's what we got in front of you, right? Go ahead and look at OG Aninobi. Go ahead and look at Fred VanVleet. This is who you're going to get the pattern of your development after. And when you saw from the beginning of the year last year to the end and going to the playoffs, Precious Achiuwa had become a monster. Miami, I guarantee you, mark my words, in 2 seasons they're going to be looking back at that trade and being like, man, we didn't know what we had in Precious. We didn't know what we had, right? But I don't want to stop there. They also brought in veteran Thaddeus Young, right? Thaddeus Young, the consummate pro. I love that little floater game he's got, right? He just knows how to win. He's one of those great glue guys that just allows teams to play at a maximum wherever he goes. And they still had Chris Boucher, still had Delano Banton, right? These guys were able to get minutes here and there and contribute. But last season, I'm going to be honest, even with those additions, they were still a relatively thin group because of how many injuries they were dealing with throughout the season. Remember, Pascal started the year hurt, right? Scotty got hurt. OG, of course, he got hurt, right? Gary Trent got hurt. Even Fred finished the season hurt, right? So they had to move guys in and out, and they still ended at the number 5 seed. But then you look at what Masai has done this offseason, right? You got the drafting of Christian Koloko. Christian Koloko, his ability to anchor a defense is just off the charts. He's one of the best coming into the NBA right now. So as we look at what this roster really is going to be able to offer going into the next season, you recognize that this is a team that's built to make a run. They went from being about 6 or 7 players deep last season due to all the injuries to now being legitimately 9 to 10, if not 11 players deep, right? Not to mention the farm system that's going to be taking place in the G League, just itching for an opportunity, right? But this is where you all come in. I want to know what you all think the Toronto Raptors outlook is. I got them, honestly, somewhere around the 4 seed. At least. Don't let one of these teams fall off. Don't let them have a slow start. Don't let them have to deal with drama like the Brooklyn Nets, right? Don't have to deal with the bad attitude like Julius Randle with the New York Knicks, right? Don't let one of these teams that should be right there with the Raptors have a bad start. If so, they may not see an opportunity to catch them for the rest of the year. Because when you got multiple all-stars, great defenders, this switchability, and you have a style of play that the NBA hasn't been able to figure out and probably won't for the next couple of seasons because nobody's built like they are, you're going to be a problem. And now that you have the reinforcements so that your starters don't have to play 40 minutes a game, right? Remember, Fred, Pascal, Gary Trent, right? These guys were leading the league in minutes played, right? Per game. So you have to ask yourself, well, what happens when they're fresh? What happens when they don't have to play all those minutes? So let me know what you all think. Where do they finish in the playoffs next season? Who do you think has a breakout year? To what level? To what extent? Are they an all-star, all-NBA, MVP candidate? I want to know what you all think. But if you enjoyed the video, stay with me this long, smash the like button and subscribe and the bell for notifications, and I'm going to holler at y'all next time. Peace.